Iggy, my phone is doing that thing again. This time it's AEM, up 14% on Thursday, and my neighbor who bought in months ago is very happy right now.
With good reason. And this one's actually a rare moment for me too, because the forensic call on this name just genuinely changed, not just the price.
Wait, change how? I thought AEM was one of your permanent red flags.
It was structurally sound business, but the yield never cleared my floor. That's what's different now. So let's actually walk through why.
Go ahead. What happened?
AEM reported first half 2026 results on Wednesday. Revenue up almost 30% year on year to $247 million, and net profit up an extraordinary 876% to $30.8 million. Management also raised full year revenue guidance and declared an interim dividend of 2.4 cents.
876%. That's not a typo?
Not a typo, driven by their AI and high performance computing customer ramping up hard. And here's the part that actually moves my forensic call. That interim dividend is the first one this company has declared since restarting payouts, on top of a final dividend of 1.3 cents paid earlier this year.
So adding those together?
3.7 cents, trailing against Thursday's closing price around $11, works out to roughly 3.3%. That clears my 3.2% forensic floor for the first time.
For the first time ever or just recently?
Genuinely, for the first time since this company resumed paying dividends at all. I do want to flag something honestly though. This trailing figure combines two dividends from a payout policy that only restarted this year. So it isn't a proper 12-month trailing figure, the way an established payers would be. I'll treat it as provisional until the next final dividend confirms a real full year window.
Okay, what does that actually change for the zone?
AEM moves from zone 5, red zone, up to zone 4 with a minus suffix, still misses my 4.7% yield hurdle by about 130 basis points. So this isn't a green light, but it's no longer a structural flaw breach.
What's the difference between those two, practically speaking?
A flaw breach means the yield fails even the most basic safety threshold. No room for nuance. A zone 4 call means the yield still isn't enough to justify the equity risk over a guaranteed alternative, like CPF special account. But the business itself and the balance sheet are not the problem here.
So it's a timing question now, not a permanent no?
Exactly that. And it's worth being precise about why the 4.7% bar exists at all. It's benchmarked against the best guaranteed SGD yield available, not against what any one reader could actually redirect their own capital into. So missing it doesn't mean the business is broken. It means the income alone hasn't yet earned its place over that guaranteed alternative.
What about the people who bought AEM early, before all this? My neighbor's been holding since before the big run-up.
Genuinely different story for them, and worth saying plainly. If you bought AEM at $2 or $3 a share before this rally, your own yield on that original cost is far higher than the 3.3% I just quoted. That number only reflects someone buying fresh at Thursday's price. If you're already holding from lower down, this upgrade is good news on top of good news for you specifically.
And for someone thinking of buying in fresh?
That's where the time horizon question actually matters. If retirement drawdown is decades away, and you have genuine capacity to hold through cyclicality, a business growing profit this fast might be worth more patience than the yield number alone suggests. If you're closer to needing this money for income, the yield still isn't there yet, and that's a completely fair reason to wait.
Fair enough. What else moved this week that's worth mentioning?
Two more names, both quieter stories. ST Engineering traded actively on Thursday, volume up around 33%. But the price barely moved, up less than 1%. That's actually the market simply confirming what my screen already found at their results. A fortress balance sheet paired with a yield that still fails my 3.2% floor. No drama, no change, just confirmation.
And the third one?
Mapletree Industrial Trust hit a fresh 52-week low on Thursday. I want to be careful here. I don't have a confidently current structural read on this name pulled this session, gearing and occupancy specifically. So I'm not going to attach a zone number to it on air. What I can say is the yield on the most recent full year distribution is comfortably above 6% at that price. So this is a genuine value versus caution. Question I'd rather answer properly once I've refreshed the full picture, rather than rush a call now.
So, what does this mean for someone listening?
If you already hold AEM, Thursday was a good day, and the forensic upgrade adds real substance behind the price move, not just sentiment. If you're considering buying in fresh, the yield still has ground to cover before it clears my bar. So this is a name to watch with genuine interest rather than chase on the headline alone. That's this week's Forensic Pulse. Real profit growth, changing a real zone call, exactly the kind of shift worth tracking closely. If you want every zone update the moment it happens, plus the complete red zone watch list and institutional grade cheat sheets, get everything, 0-day access on both platforms, full red zone watch list, institutional grade cheat sheets. With IGGY'S Elite Investors, $12 per month.
Congrats to my neighbor then. Thanks, Iggy. Catch you next time.
This content is produced for educational and informational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I am a retail investor who applies forensic analysis to my own portfolio and shares that process publicly. Nothing here constitutes a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security, and no specific target prices or personalized financial advice are offered. All data is sourced from public filings and verified sources. Where data is unverified, it is explicitly flagged. All investments carry risk, including the potential loss of principal, and past performance is not indicative of future results. If you are making investment decisions involving CPF, SRS, or personal capital, please conduct your own due diligence or consult a MAS licensed financial advisor before committing funds.